Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. Now then, you have joined me from the driver's seat of my BMW 760 Li, the BMW V12 project. So we're going to be going out on a little drive today. This is going to be kind of a POV, a point of view style video, and yeah, I just thought it'd be good to take this thing for a good spin. I haven't really taken it for a good spirited drive since I kind of fixed the whole brake issue. So as you guys know, we had a sticking rear brake caliper, and I've fixed that now, put some new discs and pads on, new parking brake assemblies and all the rest of it, and yeah, the thing actually drives now without too much drama. Now we do only have like 25 miles of range left, so I think I am going to get some fuel first, because yeah, that would not be a good idea. So let's get some fuel. Good old Shell. Okay, so just put £20 worth of fuel in. Let's see how much range that gives us. Miles from, what was it, 25? That's not too bad, to be honest. Let's see what our average MPG is right now. 8.4. So we're getting there then. We're getting close to double figures. Right, let's get on the road. Fog light, front left failure. It's always good. Okay, so you're probably all wondering, how does this thing now drive after you've done a bit of work to it? So we'll kind of just quickly go over what we have done so far to this car. So like I said earlier, we have overhauled the rear brakes. We've kind of you know, inspected and greased the front brakes, but not done too much there. We have completely gave this, you know, the car a full service. So we have done oil filter, fuel filters, air filters, cabin filters, all that good stuff. And we have also serviced the transmission as well. And that was kind of one of those things that I wasn't sure what to expect. But I'm pleased to announce that the car seems to drive much better. Like, it seems to shift so smooth. Now, I mean, me personally, I've never really owned too many automatics in the past, so it's kind of hard to gauge, you know, what is a good smooth shift and what is not. But one thing I will say is it does shift as you would expect it to in a BMW 7 Series. Nice and smooth, no jerking, no clunking or anything like that. So I guess, you know, doing this service of the transmission has only really benefited the car, to be honest. And we did also reset the adaptions. Now it's kind of hard to gauge whether the smoothness has come from resetting the adaptions, or if it has, you know, come from doing the transmission service. We don't really know, but I'm just glad that that is done. And like I said, the transmission seems pretty healthy. Now we do want to try and get that MPG up. Now, it's pretty hard to gauge what my actual MPG is. Now, it is showing 8.4 on the dial there, but that is an inaccurate reading, because that is ever since I bought the car, really, or I guess kind of since I last had the battery removed from the car. Now, because the iDrive is not working, I have the nav unit unplugged. That's faulty. I'm pretty much going to be overhauling the whole iDrive system, but that's going to be at a later date. But anyway, I can't reset the average MPG consumption. You have to do it through the iDrive, or so I'm led to believe. So we're going to kind of have to wait for that. But in the meantime, it is slowly creeping up. I mean, it was on 7 for a very long time, but it, like I said, it's gone up to 8.4 now, which is good. We're heading in the right direction. To be honest, I'd be very happy if we could average, I'd like to see it average 20 miles per gallon, to be honest. I mean, I'm not going to be taking this car on a bunch of long trips, although, you know, I may or may not take this thing to Germany at some point. We'll have to see about that. But yeah, you know, this is really just an occasion car, you could say. It's, you know, it really is an occasion to take a V12 out for a nice drive on the weekend or whatever. But yeah, you know, I'm not driving this thing every day, so MPG isn't a massive concern to me, but I would like to see it somewhat decent and somewhat close to the factory claimed figures. Now, you probably want to see me put my foot down, and you probably want to hear this thing. I know it's a V12 and everything, but we're just going to get the engine up to temperature. Now, we don't have a temperature gauge in here, but we do have a kind of like a gauge on the rev meter, and once that goes down all the way to, you know, past the 7, then it's a good indicator that we can, you know, put this thing through its paces, should we say. Go on, you've got the right of way. That's how roundabouts work. Now, at the moment, the what's it called? The dynamic drive failure hasn't came up yet on the dash, but that comes up as soon as I take a corner, like even remotely sharp. It just pops up straight away. It comes up dynamic drive failure. Now, that is something that I want to fix. Of course, I want to fix everything wrong on this car, but I think that's going to be quite a long process. I know there's at least one leak, and that is with the front anti-roll bar, because they are hydraulic. You know, the front anti-roll bar. They are powered. They are fed with the power steering fluid. It shares the same reservoir and everything. I'm probably going to be trying to fix the anti-roll bar first, trying to fix the leak, and then what I'll do is probably like a complete flush, and I'll change the power steering reservoir and any pipes that need replacing and all the rest of it, and then we'll go from there. Really, I'm not going to, you know, just keep replacing parts for the sake of it, and hoping to fix the issue. I'm going to actually fix what I know is broken, and then we'll kind of go from there. Okay, so we've been driving for a good 15 minutes now, so we're going to just put our foot down a little bit, just blip the throttle. Yeah, pulls very well, and brakes so much better now as well. You're probably wondering how the brakes are now, and they are so much better compared to what they were like before. Okay, so we're in manual mode now, and I'm hoping these vans and trucks don't turn right, which they haven't. So let's put our foot down. We'll put the window down. Hopefully we don't get too much wind noise, and yeah, we'll just give it a good old stab. No traction. Yeah, she pulls. She seems to be pretty healthy. I must say though, I am kind of getting used to the sensation and the power. It's really strange because, you know, before driving this car for the first time, I was expecting, whoa, 440 brake horsepower. I know it is a big heavy car, but I was expecting, whoa, you know, that's going to be so much power, it's going to rip my face off. And for the first time, like, driving it, it did, to be honest. I was like, oh my god, this is so much power. But it is very strange how, you know, going in high powered cars, you kind of quickly get used to that power and that sensation. So I guess that is why, you know, people want to constantly go on to bigger and more powerful machines, really. But yeah, it's definitely more than enough power in this. We'll again drop it down to second gear once we go around this bend, because I'm not sending this thing on a bend because we have some terrible tyres on here. I mean, they're not terrible. I'm sure they're like Michelin or Pirelli P0s or whatever, but yeah, like half of them are run flats and then half of them are not, so yeah, I have no idea how old they are, and I'm not going to push this thing in the bends at all. I'm just going to give it a little stab on the throttle on this straight, and then we'll see how it goes. So here we go. Yeah, a bit wobbly going around the bends. If you have a look at the steering wheel, see how it's shaking, and it does that like above sort of 50 miles per hour, I think. I'm pretty sure that is the tyres, well, you know, the wheels not being balanced properly. To be honest, like the wheels that are on this thing, they're scrap. You know, they're ridiculously, they're in ridiculous condition. They're all flaking off. There's like terrible tyres on there, so I'm thinking just, you know, completely scrap these wheels and get some decent looking ones, some sportier wheels, and then obviously some decent rubber on them as well, because that's like a big difference when I noticed, you know, upgrading to some decent tyres on my BMW 5 Series. You know, with some Michelin Pilot Sport 4s, that made the ride so much better. 8.6 mpg now on the consumption. We're getting there, boys. We're getting there. Yeah, I don't think you even heard that, did you? This thing sure does shift, I'll give it that. And to be honest, like as it is, it doesn't handle bad in the corners. I just don't have a lot of confidence in it. Number one, you know, like I said, with the tyres, them being a bit mismatched, and the dynamic drive system, that not working pretty much at all. So yeah, I just don't want to push it that much in the corners. Once this car's like completely fine and all sorted and everything, then I will push it a bit more. But at the moment, no, I'd rather not, to be honest. 8.7 now on the MPG, and it's really strange because we keep like giving it some, and then the MPG seems to go up, which is really weird. Let me actually see what just cruising along at like 40 miles per hour returns, like on the instant MPG. Now obviously we're going to get 99 plus when you're not even on the throttle, but let's see once we get on the throttle, just cruising along, you know, probably in 5th or 6th gear. Let's see what we could get just driving normally. Put it back into drive. Because to be honest, you can actually drive this like very low in the rev range, because it's got so much torque low down. You don't actually even need to rev over like sort of 2000 RPM. So we'll build it up to 40-ish, and then yeah, we'll just sort of cruise. We are going up a hill here, but we are averaging, I mean, we are showing sort of about 25 mpg. This is going up a hill. So yeah, I'm sure we could get this car to around 20 mpg on average. We're kind of going on to more of a flat now, and yeah, it's showing like 30. So yeah, I'm sure we could definitely get this car to 20 mpg on average. That is my goal. I want to get this to 20 mpg, because then it wouldn't be like that bad, really, would it? It'd kind of be pretty comparable to, you know, the newer cars today. Because, you know, most performance cars today, you know, even hatchbacks, they don't really get much more above 20, 25 mpg. So yeah, it really wouldn't be a bad car to drive on a more frequent basis. But guys, I am going to end this video here. Hopefully you have all enjoyed watching me drive my BMW 760 Ally, the V12 BMW project. And yeah, you know, if you guys want to see more of these videos, then there'll be more to come on the way. Of course, if you have not already, please give this video a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you have not already done so, and I will see you all in that next one. Peace!